Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. The Young and the Restless spoilers. Sharon rips teddy bear to shreds. Scared Faith sees Phyllis' gift destroyed. The Young and the Restless, Y&R, spoilers reveal that Sharon Newman, Sharon Case, could give her loved ones yet another reason to worry about her. When Faith Newman, Raylan Castor, was in the hospital, Y&R fans will recall that Phyllis Summers, Michelle Stafford, showed up with a teddy bear as a present. Sharon still has the teddy bear at the cottage now that Faith is home, and it looks like it could become a significant part of the story. In Y&R's September 11 episode, Mariah Copeland, Cameron Grimes, noticed that teddy bear and asked if it was Sharon's. That led to Sharon snatching it up, insisting it was a gift for Faith and shoving it aside. There was a lot of focus on this teddy bear, so we have to consider if it might serve as a major warning sign, at least once Sharon goes into plushie attack mode. Phyllis has been trying to convince Nick Newman, Joshua Morrow, that Sharon is downright dangerous and that she poses a serious threat. Sharon could easily rip that bear to shreds and leave her freaked out family fearing what she's capable of. Of course, tearing into a teddy bear and pulling out all the stuffing isn't the same as doing bodily harm to someone. That said, if Sharon makes a move this extreme, it'll be a giant red flag and leave her loved ones worried she could indeed harm a real person next. Cameron Kirsten, Lyndon Ashby, is seemingly steering Sharon to plot Daniel Romalotti Jr.'s Michael Graziadei demise, but Phyllis, Heather Stevens, Vale Bloom, and Lucy Romalotti Jr., Lily Brooks O'Brien, are also at risk here. Phyllis is poised to get caught in the crossfire once things take a dangerous turn this fall. Having Sharon destroy Phyllis' teddy bear gift could set the stage for her to hurt her rival down the road. In the meantime, it might be a scared Faith who stumbles across the totally demolished teddy bear and fears the worst. The Young and the Restless spoilers say Sharon will definitely exhibit more warning signs in the coming episodes, so stick with us for updates on all the shocking news to come. The midday sun filtered through the large windows of crimson lights, casting a warm glow on the bustling coffee shop. Sharon Newman stood behind the counter, her hands trembling as she absent-mindedly wiped the surface. Her mind was elsewhere, replaying recent events over and over like a broken record. It had been a strange few weeks in Genoa City, with secrets unraveling and relationships put to the test. Sharon's world, normally a delicate balance of managing her family, work, and personal life, had been disrupted once again, this time by the sudden return of Phyllis Summers. Phyllis, the eternal thorn in Sharon's side, had been meddling in everyone's business, but it was her attempts to bond with Faith that had Sharon on edge. The small, unassuming teddy bear sat on the counter, a seemingly innocent gift Phyllis had given Faith the week before. Faith had been overjoyed at the gesture, her eyes lighting up when Phyllis handed it to her, claiming it was a peace offering. Sharon, however, knew better. Phyllis didn't give gifts without a hidden agenda, and the timing of this particular present had set off alarm bells in her head. Phyllis had been getting too close to her daughter, and Sharon wasn't about to let that happen without a fight. Her thoughts were interrupted by the jingle of the front door as it swung open. Faith walked in, her usual cheerful demeanor clouded with worry. Sharon noticed immediately, her maternal instincts kicking in. "Hey, sweetheart," Sharon greeted, trying to mask her own anxiety. "How was school?" Faith shrugged, her eyes darting to the teddy bear on the counter. "It was okay, I guess. But, Mom, can we talk?" Sharon's heart skipped a beat. There was something in Faith's voice, something that made her stomach churn with unease. She nodded, motioning for Faith to sit at one of the nearby tables. The two of them sat down, the teddy bear sitting silently between them, its glassy eyes staring up innocently. "What's on your mind?" Sharon asked, keeping her voice calm though her mind was racing. Faith hesitated for a moment, her fingers twisting together nervously. "It's about Phyllis. She's been weird lately. She keeps asking me to hang out, giving me gifts like this teddy bear. I don't know. It just feels off." Sharon's jaw tightened. She had known something like this was coming, but hearing it from Faith made it all too real. Phyllis was clearly trying to worm her way into Faith's life, and Sharon couldn't stand the thought of her daughter being manipulated by that woman. "You're right to feel that way, Faith," Sharon said softly, reaching across the table to take her daughter's hand. Phyllis doesn't do anything without a reason, she's always plotting something, and I don't want you getting caught up in her games. Faith's eyes widened slightly, and she glanced nervously at the teddy bear. Do you think she's using me to get to you, or maybe to hurt you? Sharon sighed, her gaze falling on the bear as well. I don't know for sure, but it wouldn't surprise me. Phyllis has always been vindictive. She knows how much I love you, and she'll use that to her advantage. There was a heavy silence between them, both mother and daughter lost in their thoughts. Finally, Sharon stood up abruptly, her decision made. I can't let this continue, she muttered, more to herself than to Faith. She grabbed the teddy bear off the table, holding it in her hands as though it were something toxic. Mom, what are you doing? Faith asked, her voice laced with fear as she watched her mother's strange behavior. Sharon's face was set in determination, her eyes blazing with a mix of anger and protectiveness. She couldn't let Phyllis' influence creep into their lives, not like this. The teddy bear, once an innocent gift, now felt like a symbol of manipulation, a way for Phyllis to assert control over Faith. Sharon's fingers tightened around the soft fabric, her nails digging into the plush fur. I'm getting rid of this, Sharon declared. Without another word, she marched over to the back of the coffee shop, where a large trash can sat. But as she stood there, holding the teddy bear above the bin, something inside her snapped. With a furious growl, Sharon tore at the teddy bear's seams, ripping the fabric apart with her bare hands. Stuffing flew through the air and the small glass eyes popped off, rolling across the floor. Sharon didn't stop, didn't pause to think about what she was doing. All she could see was Phyllis' smug face, her manipulative smile, and the way she always seemed to come between Sharon and the people she loved. Mom, stop, Faith cried, running over to her mother, her face pale with shock. But Sharon couldn't stop. The rage that had been simmering inside her for weeks, months, even years, finally boiled over. She shredded the teddy bear until there was nothing left but scraps of fabric and tufts of stuffing scattered on the floor. Her chest heaved with emotion, her hands trembling as she let the remnants of the bear fall to the ground. Faith stood frozen, her eyes wide with fear and confusion. She had never seen her mother like this before, so consumed with anger, so desperate to destroy something so small and innocent. Why did you do that? Faith whispered, her voice shaking. Sharon turned to face her daughter, her expression softening as she saw the fear in Faith's eyes. The sight of her daughter's terror snapped her back to reality, and the weight of what she had just done hit her all at once. Oh my God, Faith, Sharon breathed, stepping toward her daughter. I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to scare you. Faith took a step back, her gaze flicking between her mother and the destroyed teddy bear on the floor. I don't understand, it was just a gift. It wasn't just a gift, Sharon said softly, tears welling up in her eyes. Phyllis is trying to manipulate you, trying to get between us. I couldn't let that happen. I had to protect you. But you didn't have to do this, Faith whispered, looking at the shredded remains of the teddy bear. You didn't have to destroy it. Sharon wiped at her eyes, guilt washing over her. She had let her anger get the best of her, and in doing so, she had scared her daughter. She reached out to Faith, but her daughter pulled away, still too shaken to accept her mother's apology. I'm sorry, Faith, Sharon repeated, her voice thick with emotion. I just want to keep you safe. Faith didn't say anything for a long moment, her eyes locked on the ruined teddy bear. Finally she nodded, though the distance between them still felt vast. I know, Mom, Faith whispered. But I'm not a little kid anymore. I can take care of myself.